What's happening? It's Bozyk. I'm here at the corner of 11th and Northrop in the Pearl, downtown Portland. This spot right here, this hallowed ground upon which I stand, will be the epicenter of the Northwest whiskey scene, Whiskey Fest Northwest. And I'm going to introduce you to some of the distillers that are going to be responsible for some of the fine beverages that we will be tasting on May 11th, so stay tuned. Tell me a bit about the Raven and Rose and how you guys are connected to this year's Whiskey Fest Northwest.
Raven and Rose is a new restaurant. We just opened in January, and we're in Raven and Rose right now. We're in the historic Hayloft area. This restaurant exists in the historic Light Carriage House, which is a 130-year-old building. And this is Dave Shenaut. He's the bar director here, and he's leading the cocktail program, which is focused on historic cocktails, classically accurate cocktails.
Yeah, I'd say we're just doing kind of a back to basics cocktail program here. We've gone and we've picked single barrels of our favorite whiskeys, specifically with the idea of putting them in a Manhattan, an old fashioned, or a whiskey sour. So we tasted through about 80 single barrel whiskeys.
Horrible job.
With the totally horrible job. With the architect and with Natalia and the owner and the chef, and we all got together in our coffee roaster. We all got together and we selected specific barrels and bought the whole barrels, which are located here in the bar. And we're featuring the Manhattan and the old fashioned and the whiskey sour, which is very, very simple. Taking the whiskey seriously, but having fun with just making simple cocktails.
So what do you think, what about the taste of these whiskeys in particular attracted you the most to these three particular?
Well, the Four Roses single barrel has the highest rye content of any barrel, of any bourbon on the market. So it has that big rye, spicy character, and then we picked the one with the floral kind of yeast. So it does really well with a nice rich vermouth and stirred, but it also has a huge peppery quality to it. The Eagle Rare single barrel is a wheated whiskey from Buffalo Trace Distillery, and it's just got this big, round, robust kind of richness that does really well in an old fashioned. And then Elijah Craig, of course, just plays well off of bitters and citrus. It's kind of how do you say it? It's kind of just a simple, easy drinking whiskey. And it does really well in a sour. So
Natalia, you're responsible for events here, right? So you're putting together this Whiskey Wednesday. Now,
yes.
What's this going to be, and how is this going to carry on the excitement that we gain about whiskey here at Whiskey Fest Northwest?
Yeah, we are going to be showcasing one whiskey every week and have live music up here in the Rookery Bar. And this week we have Jim Beam, who is going to be our sponsor. We're going to have live blues music, and that's going to continue on up until Whiskey Fest, and then after that as well. So it's going to be a great place to come and hang out, play free pool, and have fantastic cocktails.
Each week we're basically going to put together a menu, which will include a whiskey flight, a punch, and then a couple of different cocktails that are created around whatever the whiskey of the week is. We're featuring Jim Beam products, so we've got Maker's Mark and Knob Creek single barrel whiskey will be here. So we're really excited about it'll be the only time all week that you can get these cocktails at this price. So it should be fun.
Why does it seem like over the last maybe 2-3 years, it seems like there's a lot of excitement about whiskey, especially here in the Northwest?
You know, I think we're a sleepy town and we like to sip on our bourbons. I think rye has been something that we're getting really excited about, and the consumer is so educated. So it's it's really nice to be able to talk whiskey with the customers across the bar, enjoy it.
What part of Whiskey Fest Northwest that you're aware of so far are you most excited to see as it interacts with the crowds that come out to check this out?
Well, we're building out a whiskey sour off, more or less. We haven't really figured out the name of it yet, but we're going to have bartenders in between the bands at Whiskey Fest Northwest, and the bartenders are going to compete for a trip to this really cool cabin up in Mount Hood, and they're all going to make whiskey sours and see who can make the best one. And it's that whole back to basics, making a simple drink but making the best one possible. So we're pretty excited about the contest that's going to happen.
And Natalia, I heard that you'll be juggling flaming chainsaws at Whiskey Fest Northwest.
That's my specialty.
Her chainsaws are pink powder coated as part of the There's some bejeweling going on.
Wait till you see my outfit.
Leotard, something with a lot of sequins. So, but were you involved in any of the planning of Whiskey Fest Northwest?
Yeah, we're working with Erica and Sam from the Luna Foundation to organize with the Oregon Bar Guild and some folks around town to put the competition on. And Raven and Rose and Imperial will be doing 2 craft cocktail bars that are at Whiskey Fest. So you can look for some great cocktails there from those 2 places. And they're our friends too, so we're excited to work with them over at Imperial.
Mm-hmm. What's the best whiskey drink that nobody's drinking right now?
Oh man, well, it's still the Vieux Carré. The Vieux Carré is still that drink that I wish more people would have. It's this old New Orleans classic from the late 19th century. It was developed in an old New Orleans hotel bar, and it's rye whiskey and cognac and Benedictine and bitters and sweet vermouth. It's like everything that everybody loves, but no one's ordering it. So
it doesn't sound like one that you need more than a couple of.
Right.
All right. Excellent. So Whiskey Fest Northwest May 11th, but Whiskey Wednesday starts this month and runs
17th,
through. As long as people are going to show up, you're going to keep doing it.
Exactly.
Outstanding.
Whiskey's all gone.